will not be disrupted by their convoy. And for that, they are truly sorry. They're doing their very best to limit the disruption to our lives. And they ask Canadians and Americans to remember we are fighting for all of our freedoms together. It's the political class that has abandoned us all, not each other. It's time for us to love one another, to have these open conversations about what's so important. It's time to talk to remind our politicians that they work for the Canadian and American people. And it's not the other way around. We ask for your love, patience, and support so that we can unify all Canadians and Americans around the virtue of freedom. Hear, hear to freedom! The supply chain has been in shambles for well over a year due to the various provincial governments in Canada and America imposing draconian restrictions on business activity and the entire Canadian and American economy. As soon as our list of demands have been met, the government reopens the country and abandons these digital passports and mandates the way the UK has done. We will do our absolute best to ensure the supply chain returns to its normal operations as quickly as possible. So here are the guidelines that they would like me to reaffirm. The reasonable list of demands are as follows. Number one, the federal and provincial governments terminate the vaccine passports and all other obligatory vaccine contact tracing programs or inter-Canada passport systems. Number two, terminate COVID vaccine mandates and respect the rights of those who wish to remain unvaccinated. If we don't protect our rights to remain unvaccinated, there will be no control group to know exactly how these injections are affecting us. Number three, cease the divisive rhetoric attacking Canadians who disagree with government mandates.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. We're all working together here. Thank you so much, sir. Number four, cease to limit debate through coercive measures with the goal of censoring those who have varying or incorrect opinions. Yes. One of the beautiful things about being free is we can believe whatever we want. That's right. And you don't have to protect the truth. The truth is like a lion. You don't have to protect it. You let it loose and it will protect itself. We want you to know that there's hope. The authoritarian actions of Justin Trudeau and Joe Biden, which is a combination needed to garner massive pushback and unprecedented levels of Canadians and Americans uniting. For the first time in generations, we're witnessing the unification of Canadians from Alberta and Western provinces, Ontario, the Maritimes, First Nations communities, along with our brothers and sisters in Quebec who have suffered some of the most draconian measures over the past year. Many of us here in America know that New York is often on the front lines for that as well, and DC. A unified and free Canada can be our future, and it starts in America, and it starts now with reminding our government that they serve the people. It is time that each and every one of us reaches out to our local officials and tells them we've had enough. No! We know that the Canadian and American spirit from all backgrounds is to be kind and loving. However, freedom is constantly at war with those who want to limit it, and it must be defended. We have an opportunity for all of us to come together, irrespective of our differences, and do what is needed to ensure our freedoms are protected now and for future generations. We promise to have more updates as we go along. I'm very excited to see what happens today in Ottawa. Yep. Because as goes Canada, so will go the rest of the world. Yes. There's something pretty magical seeing Canadians stand up, I gotta say. As a family who has Americans and Canadians, it's been a long time coming. Yeah, amen. Yes, it has. Canadians have always been known to be extremely nice. And even in their demands, they apologize for any inconvenience they may have caused. Thank you, Canadians, for being the beacon of peaceful people. Yes. To remind the world that group called Be Brave Washington in Whatcom County. We've been working really hard to restore liberty here in this county and encourage other counties to get involved and do the same. Some of the ways we do that is by educating on our constitutional rights. We also encourage people to go home and do some home study on that. Many Americans have long forgotten what our Constitution even represents and why we are standing together to support freedom. Another thing that we encourage people to do is please reach out to your local officials. It's really easy for them to say they didn't know you guys had concerns when nobody's reaching out to them. It's really hard for them to say that when you join in on the council meetings, because every council meeting that you speak at is on public record. And as you speak up and create a public record, at some point we bring lawsuits forward, we will have a public record that shows them that they cannot say they did not know. We've been doing that here in Whatcom County for about a year now. Our group is very much working together. We come from all walks of life. We've got Democrats and Republicans alike. We have people from all religions, and we work together to remind each other and to remind our community that one of the things that makes America and Canada so great is that we are different, and that we come from a lot of different cultures. And that what we do together is we stand for freedom and the right for you to decide what you want to do for yourself. And we are demanding that we get to maintain these freedoms. We are not going to sit by and let our constitutional freedoms be taken away. I want to say thank you to the groups here in Washington, especially in Whatcom County, that have been working so diligently on this to educate the public on the issues and their constitutional rights and to encourage people to get more involved. Thank you, Be Brave Washington, and everybody that shows up weekly to our meetings. I so appreciate you. My family appreciates you, and this county absolutely appreciates you. We start local, and it goes out from there. I also want to thank We Will Whatcom, who has also been working diligently. They were the first group in Whatcom County to start doing protests when everything was really shut down, and they encouraged me and other people to start what is now Be Brave Washington. I would also like to thank the two parent groups of Whatcom County, Linden Parent Coalition and Nooksack Valley Parent Coalition, who have been working tirelessly to get parents involved in their school boards and getting the schools to understand that parents have had enough. Again, they work for us. These people are elected. They are meant to represent us, not tell us what to do. It is a sad thing when people know that what they're doing is harmful and yet they keep complying. It's time for us all to have courage together and to start those hard conversations. And to tell them if they are willing to stand up and be honest and be accountable, we'll work with them. But if they continue to ignore what is going on, they will be held accountable in the court of law. There are lawyers across the United States working together to end these mandates and hold people accountable. For anybody that's friends with Seth Fleetwood, please give him this message. We are coming after you. Seth Fleetwood is the mayor of Bellingham, and he decided to put his own mandate on the city of Bellingham, thereby crippling the police department and many other departments in Bellingham. And it is causing massive problems across the board for Bellingham and Whatcom County as a whole. And thankfully for us, he decided to do a mandate on people that had contracts with him, contracts that did not include him mandating these EUA products on them. And we will be holding him accountable. We are working very hard to get the information together that we need. The Seattle mayor has already had a lawsuit against him that has so far won. They've won one so far. This is just beginning. So I really encourage you, please get involved. Start reaching out to your local officials, because by doing so, by sharing with them your concerns, by sending them data on the PCR test inaccuracies, by sending them issues on the masking, whatever information that you can provide to them and you send to them, it creates a public record. You need to have that if you ever expect to hold your government officials accountable. Otherwise, they can say, oh, we didn't know. So please, I encourage you all to reach out to every local official you can. Your local sheriff, your local mayor, your city council, your county council, your school boards. They need to hear from you. If you're interested in getting more information and you have a hard time finding some of this online that I've shared, my group, Be Brave Washington, does have a website, BeBraveWashington.com. We have a ton of literature on there that we print up every week for our meetings that we hand out. There's a lot of information on your exemption rights and otherwise. We've also started a local Liberty Commerce Network to gather all the businesses that are liberty-minded so that we as customers can know where we can go without being harassed, and we can use our money to vote. If you're in Whatcom County, please join us in that. There are many businesses that are standing up, and the more of us that do it together, the more people will find the courage to do the same. So many people are done, they just don't know how many people are out there with us. So it's time to be brave, be bold. Know that you have the right to go into any grocery store anywhere without a mask on. There is not a single law in the books that says you have to do that. And in fact, there are laws that state there are exemption rights for anybody that has a medical or mental health reason to not wear a mask. There's RCW codes in Washington State that protect your legal rights to say no to the mask. Please use those rights while you have them.
Yeah, take it. Take it. All right.
Couple things. I was listening to Governor Inslee of Washington State yesterday. I'm going to share with you what I heard just so that you don't have to painstakingly listen to what I had to listen to yesterday. He's trying really hard to make it so that people cannot even talk about any government person is not allowed to talk about voter fraud issues. He is also trying to make it illegal for people such as myself to gather, both in public and privately, meaning that if I wasn't allowed to be here with you all and I wanted to have some of you over at my house to discuss these concerns, I could be criminalized for that if Jay Inslee thinks I'm a threat. This is incredibly dangerous, and every single person needs to be standing up against these. Speak up and use your voice.
Can I get a picture?
Some of the other issues that I heard them discussing is being able to prohibit certain streets, highways, and public ways for the public.
I'm mandated out.
They would prohibit that he would have the right to prohibit certain streets, highways, and public ways for the public use.
He already does.
Another thing that they were talking about is they're really wanting to push the curfews again. And if any of you are in Whatcom County and you've got a school levied voter ballot, know this. They've gotten more money probably than they've ever had for the schools, even though they've shut out many students from even being able to join the schools because of the mask mandate. If I were you, I would vote no on any levy.
Yes!
Virtual teaching isn't teaching.
Public school. School can see very clearly that until they stop with the mandates, they're not getting more money.
And they were super clean, and I'm like, turn off your TV. Let's do jumping jacks. We get dressed up and just walk down the halls and stuff. Yeah. Even if they had to be in their rooms. Like,
Get you guys a sign. Can I see your sign? That's right. Leave the triples in the end. That's my favorite. Thank you. music. And then they'll kick it offline. Look at that pretty puppy, baby.
If you hear barking, it's her. She's just saying hi, but it's a scary bark.
How old?
Almost 2.
She's super nice.
Beautiful. Huh? There he is. BCP. BCP.
How you doing?
What's happening?
How you doing, man?
Good, brother.
Appreciate you guys.
Hey, man, you got me going, man. Yeah, because of you, man, I'm starting to channel up.
Are you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
job.
I saw your wife earlier, and I was like, man, if it wasn't for him, saying what he says, not people gonna. I mean, I say the same thing to people all the time.
Yeah.
I was the only one on the corner right after the election holding my flag out there.
Nice. Awesome.
In the
Awesome.
rain, people honking, but
Yep.
nobody else would join.
Nobody else.
It's sickening.
Yeah,
But
it's
this
sad.
is nice.
This is good to see.
Yeah, we drove 3 hours. I mean, you drove 6
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
It's worth
going
it.
down in
It's worth it, man. If we got to make a change, we have to do it at all
right.
costs, man. So
That's right.
Appreciate
CJ's here too.
Is he? He's
Saw
up here?
him. He's
All
up
right.
at the front up there.
I'll go see him, find him someplace.
Before you leave,
Pick
man, I
on
want
him.
to get a picture with you, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
We know.
Well, yeah, I guess so. How do we do it? I'll just turn this off.